Hi, in this tutorial, I will show you how to take a screenshot in Selenium WebDriver and also how you can call this method. So to take the screenshot, I'm planning to develop a method, write a method, and then call that method whenever we need to take a screenshot. Okay, so let's get started. This is the Maven framework. And as I said that I'm planning to do that as a method, right? So let's do that inside this browser utils and let's create that method, okay? So what we need to do, I'm planning to make this as a static method so that we don't need to create the object. We just need to use the class names and then we can simply call it, right? So let me put the name get, let's say, so the return type, let's make it as a string, okay? And then what we need to do is say screenshot. Let's put that name, okay? And now, all right. So the first thing that we need to do also, I'm planning to add a name, okay? Because why we add a name? So that we can recognize it. By the name, we can easily go to the folder and find our screenshot. All right, so now I pass in a name. Also, I'm planning to add the date and times to my screenshot. So how can I do that? You can do that by using the date class in Java, okay? Create an object of the date class, and then what you need to do, you can add the name that comes from this parameter, add your name, and then what you need to do, you need to say, first thing you need to do, you need to change that to string because our return type is a string, right? Then replace that. Well, we need to replace this, the time, which with the underscore, right? Also, we are planning to replace any space with what? With underscore, okay? So right now the date is going to be in the form of the underscore. All right, so now this line actually adds the date to the screenshot, to the name of the screenshot, okay? So right now, when I take the screenshot, I want to store this, right? Where do I want to store this? Where do you want to store this? For example, I can say that it depends, and depends on the type of the operating system, right? So what operating system do we do? We are going to use it. All right, so let's say that there is a class system.property is a class that's used to manage your system. What I mean by manage, for example, if you want to get the name of your operating system, right? You can say operating system name. Then in that case, you can use your system dot get property, and then here you can pass in the name OS. So this line is used to get the name of your operating system. System.property is used to manage your operating system. Your, for example, you can get the name, you can get the version, you can get the whatever. There are a lot of methods. So get property is a method that comes from the system, and here you pass the key, then the method returns you the value. Okay, it's in form of key value. All right, so now let's actually develop this for both for Mac operating system and also for Windows. All right, so I can say that if the system.get properties, okay, if system.get properties, let's say as OS name, if the OS name is, let's say I can say that it starts with Mac, because the Mac operating system usually starts with a Mac, right? Mac OS 10, OS 11. So I can say that if when you get the operating system and if it starts with a Mac, then I want to say that I want to store this name. Where do you want to store this? I can say, again, system.get property. Where do you want to store it? I want to store it in the user.dir, right? I want to store it in the dir, which is the user directory. And in my framework, there is a folder that called test, okay, output, that I will show you how to generate this folder because it doesn't exist by default. Okay, test.output. And now what I need to do, I can say that test.output, and then I'm gonna add, for example, another folder called the screenshot. So I'm gonna have another folder, a screenshot. This folder, I will have this, and I will show you how you can have this. Then after, this is the place that I want to store, and I want to have this name. I want to attach this name that I just wrote it. Okay, when I attach it, and I want to have the PNG extension. All right, so this is for the Mac operating system. And I will write another else method. This is for the rest of the operating system. For example, if it is Windows or Linux. Of course, Linux is also has a different path, but specifically for Windows. Okay, now I can say that path. If it is not Mac, meaning that if it is Windows, what we can say that path, and then again system dot get properties, right? So if it's a Windows, again, we are going to use it in the user directory. And Windows is different when you get the path from. The only difference is that it uses backslash instead of forward slash. Test output, right? Output. Then what you can see, again, we are gonna add a screenshot. Okay. When you add a screenshot, and then I want to have that name. After having that name, I want to attach the PNG extension. This is for Windows, okay? This is for Windows. All right. So right now, this is actually the name, and this is also the path. We should add what type of name. I want to have the dates and time to the name, and also where do I want to store this? I want to store it right here, right here. If it is Mac and if it is Windows, I'm planning to store it right here. Okay, so in Selenium, if you want to take the screenshot, there is an interface called TakesScreenShot. You have to use that. Okay, as you can see, it says take a screenshot. Make sure that it comes from Selenium, org Selenium. So this is the one. What we need to do is we need to create a reference of this. Okay, so right now, what I can do is driver.getDriver. So now it's my first, we need to have the method signature. And now we need to cast this. We need to cast this. You see that? Cast it to org Selenium text screenshot. Because if we don't cast it, we will not be able to use the method. Okay, right now, after we cast it, now we can actually use this. Okay, so we can use this, its method. All right, so when I want to take this screenshot, okay, I want to store this as a file. Okay, so I can say file, and I'm going to call this source. All right, so now I use the object. I use the reference variable, this one. I can say take a screenshot. There is a method. There's a method called get a screenshot as. So I want to get a screenshot, and I want to get that as a what? I want to get that as a output file. Okay. So now this one actually gets the screenshot. All right. So after you get the screenshot, what do you want to do? What I need to do also, I can say file destination, and then I can say that new file. So why we do that? Because also this path that we define for the screenshot, we want to put that also into a file. We want to treat it as a file too, right? Okay. So right now we also put the path into the file, right? Into the file constructors. Right now, there is another class that's called files util. So file utils, and there is a method called copy files. And now we can say source and destination. All right, so this one actually take this screenshot and take this as a file right here, right? And this one is the path that we define, and we put the path into the file destination, into the file constructor. So right now, when we take this screenshot, we want to copy that, and we want to store it to the destination. And where is the destination? Destination is this path. And where is this path? This path is right here. If you're in a Mac, and if you're in Windows, the path is right here, right? So the return type for this is what? The return type for this is string, right? And now I can say return path. Okay, now I will return the path of the screenshot. Okay, so our method is complete now. And let's actually use this method. Okay, let's use it. Okay. All right. So if before actually we use this method, if you remember, I told you that the test.output folder does not exist by default. So there's when you click on the target user, there's supposed to be an output folder, but it doesn't exist by default. How can you appear that? Okay, how can you make this? How can you generate this? So the first thing you need to do, you need to go to the setting. If you're in Mac, preferences. If you're in Windows, setting. Go to the setting and then look for plugin. My plugin is already here, but if you're in Windows, you don't see, just look for just click plugin, type in plugins, and now you see the plugins, right? Plugins, you will see the plugin. All right, so when you see the plugin, what you need to do, click on the marketplace. Click on the marketplace, okay? So click on the marketplace and then type for XML, right? Now, this is the create testing XML. You need to install this. Just an install right here, install. And this is install, apply, okay. Second thing you need to do, you need to go to the run. You need to go to the edit configuration and click on your project. This is your project, and click on the listener. When you click on the listener, click on the plus sign, have first thing, emailable reporter. This is one. And then also you need fail reporter. Okay, select this one, two. Okay, select. You see that there are two, email reporter and fail reporter. Apply, okay. You need to restart your IntelliJ. So I'm gonna. So what I need to do, let's actually, because I already have that. So what I need to do, I need to close this, okay? After I close it, I need to open it again. So what I need to do, I will open it. All right. So now I open it. Now go to one of your test case, for example, this test case, right click and go all the way, and you can see here, create a testing.g XML file, okay? Click on that, create a testing.g XML file, okay? And then refresh your project. Refresh your project. There's supposed to be a file called testing.g.xml file, but right now it doesn't exist. As soon as you refresh, okay, now there is the name, it appears, testing.xml. Right click on it and then run it. So after you run it, there will be a folder created, test.output, okay? So now let's run this. Run this. Okay, it's running a test case. We picked up some test case. All right, so there you go. Now the folder here is created, test.output. So after test.output, I want to store my, what I need to do, I want to store my, in a folder called a screenshot. So what I can say, I'm going to create another folder called directory. And what's the name? The name is a screenshot. Or let's actually, just to make sure, copy that name. I want to store it here, right? So this is the test output. We have the folder. I want to create another folder, directory. And what name I want to put here? I want to put a screenshot. Okay, so now go to one of your test cases, right? For example, this test case right here, and call that method. What was the name? The name of our method, it was browser.get a screenshot. And let's actually call this login test. Okay, because we provide the name. Okay, right now, this method basically what it do, this method goes to the page, login with the wrong username and password. After it click on the login, it take the screenshot. And also we wanna, let's say that when we put the wrong username and password, we wanna confirm that this label appears just exactly like it is. We wanna confirm that. So how we can do that? Here is a method that compares that. Assert equal, this is the actual text, and this method actually gets the text from the website. So it compares to if they pass, they pass, and if they fail, they fail. But before that, we want to take a screenshot. Right after you click on the login button, it enters the username, wrong username, and wrong password. After it clicks on the login button, we want to take a screenshot. This method that we just developed. Okay, so right now, let's go and do this. I have this screenshot from the previous session. I want to delete it just to make sure that the screenshot comes back again. Okay, so now let's run this again. Okay, so it opens, enter username and password. There you go. And now this is our screenshot. So how you can open it? You can go to this screenshot and go all the way open. If you're in Windows, open in Explorer, but this Windows is the Mac is Finder. I open this and click on it, and this is our screenshot that we just took it, right? This is our screenshot. Also, as you can see, there's a date, the date that we attached, Saturday, October 29. What time is it? For example, here's a time, and then the date, right? Here's a time and date. So everything is as expected. All right, so this is how we can take the screenshot. If you have a question about this, please leave a comment in the channel, right? All right, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.